Hello and welcome to Business Today. Thank you for joining us. Before we dive right in, here's a quick look at our top stories. In Business Today, Fireguard's World Food Program maize struck near Katuna border. Damage estimated at about 20 million shillings as intervention delay is linked to limited fire services. And local government committee queries uniformed corruption in PG. 60 billion shillings lost to ghost teachers in 7 years while staff is underpaid. Government injects in 300 billion shillings in telecom. Equity split between finance and ICT ministry at 60% and 40% respectively. UTCL boosts of efficiency as voiced, fixed internet and Wijisente are promised. Welcome once again to Business Today. We are coming to you live from here at Plot 42 Nile Avenue and online at Smart 24 TV Live. Beginning with UETCL and how it has unleashed UTEL, management of the formerly troubled Uganda Telecom has officially handed over administration to Uganda Telecommunications Corporation Limited after fulfillment of the terms agreed upon in the Assets and Procurement Agreement. Now, a fully government-owned telecom with investment of over 300 billion shillings, Powers is invested in Finance Ministry with 60% equity and 40% the Ministry of ICT. A further unleashing of UTEL, the telecommunications company, has done good by promising enhanced connectivity, job creation, among other key services. Take a look. While officiating the flamboyant event and representing the Vice President, Honorable Robin Nabanja says as a government company, it's UTCL's responsibility to provide affordable communication services contributing to the development of the country. Government's commitment to realization of the business growth geared to provision of quality products and services has been earmarked.
We recognize the tireless effort of the board, management, and the workforce in making this transformation possible. It is a testament to the vision and dedication of all involved that we stand here today, poised to embrace the future.
While glorifying His Excellency who fought not to let UTL get liquidated, State Minister for Privatization Evelyn Anite and the Secretary to the Treasury described the journey to the milestone of finally having the 3 billion shillings invested back, which the Libyan counterparts abandoned in losses.
Now we are looking at ways of getting more new ways of solving the challenges in this changing world. There is ever-changing customer needs in this area, which I will implore my colleagues we are serving with on this company to ensure that we engender innovative ways of bringing back to life this company. As government, we shall continue to create the enabling environment. We shall continue to support the ICT industry so that it can create more infrastructure for companies like UTEL to be able to flourish.
But I wish she was here because she came in the spirit of a nationalist, with the heart of a nationalist, and said yes, whereas the court has said, I have the powers to wind up this company. I want to work towards rescuing the company. Council Ruth worked so hard, working closely with Ministry of Finance and with the directive of the President. My friend Ramadan there was able to make money available to a tune of over 300 billion. So government has invested in this company. Ramadan, thank you. I want to thank my senior minister, Honorable Matia Kasaija. He's not here, he was supposed to be with us. He is with the head of state for another state duty. But please join me and put your hands together for Matia Kasaija. I remember Honorable Matia Kasaija saying, if the Libyans have divorced us and left us with the children, we are not going to starve the children.
During UTCL's big reveal, Honorable Chris Badyomunsi, the Ugandan Minister for ICT and National Guidance, emphasized the need to collaborate with Ugandan Communications Commission. The goal is to give the national telecom a career boost and help it leap beyond 3G. He also hinted that they will put up infrastructure like telecom masts and data centers to support the strategic telecom company.
For masts, we have the provision to build data centers and many other forms of infrastructure which will be helpful and beneficial to the growth of UTL. You all know that we are undertaking a process of rationalization of government agencies.
There is no denying that Uganda Telecom boasts the most extensive fixed-line network and stands tall as the country's largest ISP, primarily serving the government entities. But they are still on a 3G network to the popular 4G and the emerging 5G. Competitors like MTN and Airtel are upping their game, introducing features like eSIM card. The Chief Operations Officer, Magi Mochibi Rutwama, however, boasts that they have come to the market with efficiency and a variety of subscribers on board.
To be more efficient, we are seeing what the rest of the industry is doing, and we are saying when we come to you, we want to be more efficient. At every touch point with our company, every employee, from the sweeper to the COO, we expect to wow you at every touch point, and you cannot do that if you're inefficient. That's why we are saying we are efficient all the way, not just internally, but even externally. Depends, because right now we have quite a number. We have GSM customers, we have data and ISP. We're in the initial stages. We have just come, we're a new baby. That's why we're unveiling to you, to the market. So we are setting up so that we can be able to give you better and more. Yeah.
You have new services like mobile money, competing with the other Ghana Telecom? Yeah.
No, mobile money, not yet. We are opening up a subsidiary. Like I said, we are new. We are totally new.
And to unveil our plan, fireworks up there.
Moving on, Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, together with affiliates, are taking a proactive step to promote awareness and showcase progress in the oil and gas sector, match the intended benefit of the nation. The chamber is certain about spreading current mileage and success in the Albertine. The much needed and contested insurance is reported to have made notable progress, with policies validated at $23.8 million extended to international oil giants Sinopec and Total Energies.
On 17th February 2022, Parliament passed the Mining and Minerals Bill 2021 into law to catalyze growth in the mining sector. This agenda introduced reforms like approving small-scale mining licenses to inject fresh momentum into the mining sector, bolstering the economy through increased economic activity and revenue generation.
And most of the regulations that have been in place have happened before the sector actually kicked off. So right now, the country is being tested and is actually testing its own laws to see how efficient and how effective they are towards the objectives for which they were set. So there will be a review, and that is the purpose of the Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum, is that if we feel that there are certain inhibitors to the development of private sector, of national content, even the industry players, then we'll bring it to the attention of the public sector.
In a bid to inform, empower and propel Uganda forward, Uganda Chamber of Mines and Petroleum is fostering public awareness of the nation's natural resources. This aims to bridge the information gap and empower citizens to understand the significance of natural resources in Uganda's development journey.
Imagine many Ugandans are also wondering why aren't we executing everything ourselves. But I'll tell you that prior to the commencement of this stage, towards the end of the exploration stage, there was a study that was commissioned by the partners then. I think at that time, the upstream partners were Total, Sinopec, and Tullow Oil. It was called the Industry Baseline Survey. its objective was to try and understand what will the oil and gas project require, what is the existing capacity of execution of the project, what capacity is available locally, and what capacity is not available locally.
In parallel, the insurance sector is making notable progress. Policies valued at approximately $23.8 million have been extended to international oil giants CNOOC and Total. The Tilenga project has secured 3 policies totaling around $15.2 million. CNOOC's premiums contributing $5.9 million, underscoring the sector's advancement.
I'm also cognizant, especially as an insurer, of the fact that almost over 15 billion has already been invested prior to production. And definitely, this has significantly boosted our economy. If I bring it home to the insurance sector specifically, in terms of our share, and I know my colleague mentioned that about 2 billion has already gone out in contracts, which are for typically Ugandans. The insurance sector specifically, if you look at the 2 IOCs, specifically Total and CNOOC, we've already been able to write premiums and issue policies to these IOCs to the tune of about $23.8 million.
Nevertheless, it's not just insurance that's making strides. The logistics sector is also reaping benefits with newfound projects and contracts, such as road building contracts. The logistics industry is flourishing as well.
The attributes of our national content laws have been or are progressively being achieved. And just to highlight some of them, I think development as a country, both at the national level and community level. If you go to Hoima or the Graben region, you will find a lot of road improvements. Most of the roads have been developed and other infrastructures. But also as a country, once we start earning money, we expect to see probably other progressive activities on the development side.
According to Proskovia Nabanja, Chief Executive Officer, Uganda National Oil Company, there is a misconception that UNOC is in charge of one of the anchor projects, the Kabalega Airport project. Nevertheless, this project is now at 90% completion.
Because of the project dependencies within Kabalega Petrol-Based Industrial Park, the airport is one of the anchor projects. But what I can report is 90% complete. At least that's the update I have. But we can still get more information from Civil Aviation Authority and Ministry of Works. But as far as we've been updated, we are 90%. And the runway, I think, is about 99%.
Affiliates and government officials uniting in their call for citizens to embrace opportunities in natural resource exploration will not only drive economic growth, but also ensure that the groundwork is laid for a prosperous future. Bronya Katsime, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Now, the Parliamentary Committee on Local Government has dragged PG District to the sword, tasking the local government to apprehend more than 10 teachers who falsified documents to secure slots on government payroll for more than 7 years. Close to 60 billion shillings has been lost to date as culprits are presumed to have disappeared. As the loss is documented, district staff reported to be underpaid while pension remittances are delayed.
It is a very common practice for some unscrupulous people to forge documents and appear on government payroll, like it is happening in PG District. About 10 teachers have been receiving free money for almost 7 years without being noticed.
Yeah, you know, PG has so many queries. One of them is that there are other teachers that were in the payroll for more than 7 years. And they continue to withdraw money from the government coffers. And government lost about 60 million to those teachers. Unfortunately, the accounting officer explains that many of them disappeared. They cannot recover them. That is why we want to interest our police officers to help in investigating and finding out where those people are. I am confident PG district local government, they know where those people are, but there are some games that is being played. And
the committee has gone ahead to task the Chief Administration Officer together with the Human Resource Manager to follow up this case with police to make sure that the culprits are apprehended, else they'll be the ones to refund this money.
CID headquarters had taken over the matter. I don't know whether PG district local government is following up on the same matter. Otherwise, would be interested in seeing the reference of such cases in this meeting. Because I understand in some districts we have interacted with, even the so-called teachers who forged these minutes are residents of the same districts, and they are seen around. But when they come to interact with us, they give us information that such cases, such teachers have disappeared. Yet actually they are in the same districts. So the accounting officer and the team, they are under obligations to have these people arrested.
Our major interest is in the recovery. We want to know the steps which you are taking currently to recover. So that's where our interest is, in the recovery. What steps are you taking to recover that money? You should show us evidence indicating that at least you are taking some steps to recover that money. Because however much you explain, it's just consuming time for nothing.
People cannot disappear at once. And then what we are seeing is, by next financial year, if the same queries appears, and then we may be forced to recommend that the money should be recovered from you as we look for those people so that they pay the money. Right now, government lost about 160 million, and you are saying all those people disappeared. That one cannot happen. You need to be honest, and we help this nation.
Among other queries, the committee discovered that Mpigi district local government failed to utilize 1.7 billion shillings meant to pay their staff. Some staff are underpaid, and the pensioners are delayed when it comes to their gratuity.
Because I want us to go backwards and see this.
Okay.
And now, you come. Yes, we are on this. I'm building a case.
Okay.
Now, let us come back and look at now the categories where we are talking about pension, the amount that was used, absorption was 100%, gratuity absorption was 100%. So they received. Now you ask yourself, how did they again underpay? They got money for pension, including arrears for pension. So how do you now underpay? You have got the money you have budgeted, you have got. Also the arrears which you asked for, you have got. And now you come again and you have underpaid. How?
For us here, we have even the last comment of the auditor. So in whatever you are presenting as a clue of what is expected from us, in whatever you are presenting, just recall your interaction with the auditors, then look at that very last moment. Wherever, for example, in this very item of underpayments, the accounting officer informs us that the auditors are informing us that the accounting officer attributed it to the late release of funds. I beg your pardon. The accounting officer attributed this to failure to obtain letters of administration by the beneficiaries, bounced payments due to inconsistencies in banks and IFMIS account names, and inadequate funding. So there is no way you can start from anywhere, as in finance or what. We are expecting you now to start from clarifying these issues, how far you've gone with issues of letters of administration.
We now shift our focus to financial inclusion gaps. According to EPRC, Economic Policy Research Center, financial inclusion largely covers men as compared to women. Such clearly underscores the difficulties of imbalance and low inclusiveness, while the services such as mobile money and agent banking critical towards bridging the financial access gap. Researchers find the low digital uptake of financial services still wanting. The group will thus be glad if policies to unlock digital financial services are effectively thrown into play. Pedson Mumbele reports.
While there have been gains in the financial inclusion in the past few years owing to several government efforts and other factors, Economic Policy Research Center findings indicate that women are catching up on men in making or receiving digital payments. However, the use of internet to make online purchases is still low, both with women expressing even lower usage rates than men.
Okay. Gender gap in the usage of digital financial services is still persisting despite different interventions from different stakeholders. According to EPRC, Tugenda Hassan. Gender gap in the usage of digital financial services is still persisting despite different interventions from different stakeholders. According to EPRC research findings, men are more in the usage of mobile money compared to...
We need to have some policies that are really targeting women, not just increasing financial inclusion, but targeting the women themselves, like being very intentional on having a woman going to the bank, or having a woman on this mobile phone, and even have the line in that phone registered in her names, and she's using it as her own. She can save her money on it. She doesn't have to ask for the PIN from the husband to even withdraw money from this line. So phone ownership, the tax policy is very key, making sure that these phones at least are cheap. That tax that the person from is it Airtel who mentioned that they're charging 35% tax on these phones? Really, it's hurting, you know? It's really not nice because a woman will not afford. And we know from...
Persons are financially literate, but they're also digitally literate. Before I talk about consumer protection, I just want to have a quick question to put to the crowd. And you don't have to answer me, but just think about it.
Now, moving on to the Katuna Inferno World Food Program, whose works largely involve achieving global food security and zero hunger, is counting losses after a Rwanda-bound cargo truck from Uganda carrying maize caught fire near Katuna border. Kigezi Regional Police spokesperson ASP Mate Ile informed that the damage could not be contained as the fire brigade trucks are still grounded by being in poor state. Extra information reveals substantial loss estimated at approximately 20 million shillings in value of the gutted items. Take a look.
A relentless fire has shattered World Food Program's works in the region as cargo truck UAS 134R carrying maize and heading to Rwanda was set ablaze near Katuna border. The trailer is reported to have surprisingly caught fire, burning fruit and end parts. According to eyewitnesses, it had been parked for 3 days awaiting repair. The police fire brigade could barely contain damage due to the delay as trucks are still in bad shape and grounded.
We were there and suddenly we saw the truck on fire. By the time the driver came, it was ablaze. We tried using the fire extinguishers, but all failed. So we were waiting for the cavalry fire brigade.
The incident, which is reported to have lasted over an hour before police intervention, forced the driver to vanish, abandoning the engulfed truck and a portion of its previous cargo, with damage estimated at about 20 million shillings. Traffic and flow of activity were all affected due course as residents expressed dissatisfaction over untimely intervention.
Hours have passed and the police are not yet here. My question is, where is the police? I only see ordinary people helping out. We are really disappointed. Imagine waiting for more than 2 hours for help. We are not happy about this.
According to Parliament, effective measures to streamline secure travel and flow of cargo by heavy transit vehicles needs to be implemented, as similar calls were made earlier to gazette such trucks that traverse long distance, with the country being at the center of logistics flow in East Africa.
It's high time
we start to come up with a policy of gazetting particular areas where these trucks should remain parked, especially when drivers are doing refreshments or when they are doing clearances at the border stations. But otherwise, piling these trucks along the borders, along the main roads, the highways, it's a little bit of a problem.
Katuna residents have gone a step further to express their heightened concern for government to allocate dedicated firefighting trucks at the border. The urgent call stems from the presence of numerous parked trucks in the area, noted as a potential risk that could lead to dire and similar consequences.
The government should devise means of getting us a fire brigade around here because the place is congested. The buildings are close to each other and so the cars. We need government to look into the matters.
Secure traffic and logistics flow by transitional cargo handlers remain one of the country's pressing issues owing to the link Uganda offers to several East African states. Recently, border districts residents in Busia and neighboring areas appealed for streaming cargo truck traffic to resolve accidents and similar challenges. Nubad Jamahachi, Masekat Sime for Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
Tragic indeed. Now we look at engineering into the AFCTA. The Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Thomas Tayewa's visionary approach seeks to enhance engineering opportunities to drive rapid implementation of African trade. Emphasizing accountability, innovation, and top-notch standards, he urges the transformation of infrastructure. And responding to this call, Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers has rallied for the acceleration of crucial bills, aiming to empower local expertise and ensuring quality, as well as weeding out practice of thriving engineering services. Uganda is capitalizing on 62% of the African Continental Free Trade Area, focusing on delivering goods and services, yet the challenge lies in accessing these opportunities effectively. Stephen Asimwe, recognizing the engineering sector as an integral one, highlights the urgency of expediting the local content bill, as this move could create more financial support and reduce interest rates for local businesses.
To fast-track the local content bill, through you, Right Honourable Speaker, we, on behalf of the engineering fraternity, we join hands with them to work and ensure that we shall facilitate that discussion through your August House to ensure that we actually have affirmative action for Ugandan businesses, especially the engineers.
As Africans, we look at ourselves as competitors, and we end up losing out. So I'm really glad that you're looking at how best to tap into the opportunities created by the AFCTA, but also very important for you to play your role, because if it is to succeed, it can only succeed and benefit African continent. If innovation is at the center and the engineering aspect is very, very important for that. I was in Germany around 4 months ago, and I was amazed when I was meeting their head of small-scale industries to find that 58% of German exports are coming from small-scale, medium and small-scale industries.
Regarding the crucial matter of the local content bill, the Deputy Speaker has disclosed that the President has returned it for the second review of clauses, and he intends to personally instruct the committee to expedite the process, aiming to ensure a swift passage of the bill.
The President returned the local content bill, and I've already instructed the committee to process it next week. Next week, we shall process that bill for the third time. And because the President has returned 2 times, when we process it next week, it will automatically become law. So, next week we are going to have the local content bill, and in that bill, we hope we are creating opportunities for you to utilize your profession and make money out of it. And this will help us so much as a government.
The president of Uganda Institute of Professional Engineers emphasizes the importance of addressing two key bills as they pursue engineering opportunities. Firstly, the engineering bill must be enacted to eradicate unqualified practitioners. Secondly, the local content bill holds significant weight, aiming to enforce affirmative action for goods and services.
Is the Engineering Professionals Bill 2022, which is now waiting certificate of financial implication before it goes to Parliament. This bill is very significant in the sense that it will improve regulation of the profession. When you do not have a regulated profession, then you facilitate emergence of quacks. And when there are quacks, then you are likely to have substandard works, you're going to have substandard products in the market. So we are very, very passionate about this bill because it is going to enhance regulation. It's going to create more order in the practice of engineering.
Amidst these efforts, Honorable Katumba Wamala, the Minister of Works and Transport, underscores that local companies often lose out on contracts due to inadequate structures and inefficient administration. Nevertheless, he reinforces the commitment to passing the bill into law, indicating a positive direction for the initiative.
It's a question of being organized because, as you have seen, we are not short of expertise. You saw what is in the room. Any engineering area you talk about, they are there and in numbers. But what is lacking? What is lacking is them getting organized properly. Because as individuals, it may be difficult. Secondly, you will find that also some of our companies, local companies, when you ask Katumba, you have a local company, where is your company structure? It's one person. Katumba, you finance, Kugamba. Why English? While the demand, what is demanded when you are submitting your bid, you must show the company structure. Who are in that company? And can we check on them to see whether this, for example, are your engineers registered? All this contributes to the local contractors missing out on viable.
Business Today will now take a short break, but we will return after this.
Smart 24, driving business.
Days, our homes are no longer just the places we live. It's where we attend meetings, go to class, keep each other safe, and entertain ourselves. To do this smoothly, you need a reliable internet connection. Buy the MTN WakaNet router, which connects up to 32 devices and gets a free 40 GB data bundle at only 149,000 shillings. Or buy the MTN WakaNet MiFi at only 75,000 shillings and enjoy a free 15 GB bundle to stream, study, work, and play on the go. Visit any MTN service center to buy the MTN WakaNet router or MiFi and enjoy the internet that does amazing things.
Luxury redefined at Seasan Hotel as you indulge in the splendor of elegant living fit for the royalty that you are. Step into comfort, pampering and blissful customer-centric service as you select from our range of comfy, exquisite living quarters furnished to meet with your royal preference. Surrounded by scenic beauty, Our tropical setting allows you to escape the glamorous ordeal of city life. Our ambient green gardens will guide you to a place of revitalizing rest. The 3-star restaurant caters to your palate, serving your choice menu ranging from exotic cuisines to local delicacies. Our chefs will serve you full course meals for a truly out-of-this-world culinary experience. Our fully stocked bar to whet your throat, from renowned global brand whisks, brandies, gins, beers and wines to our locally celebrated beverages, you will not lack for any brewage. It's an all-new experience in the East at CSUN Hotel. So visit today at plot 15 to 19 Spire Road, Ginger, or contact us on +256 751 719 960 and +256 785 354 614 for reservations. CSUN Hotels, luxury redefined.
Smart 24, driving business.
If you just joined us, you're still watching Business Today, and I'm Rona Nahabwe. We now look at solar-powered agriculture. President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni has engaged a delegation from Nexus Green, a solar energy company supplying, manufacturing, and delivering affordable solar-powered solutions designated for over 458 million people in East Africa. The group briefed the president on the status of several projects, including solar-powered irrigation, Lopei multipurpose dam, as well as collaboration between the Ministry of Defense on solar power initiative, among others. The dialogue comes at a time when efforts to support agriculture with initiatives such as irrigation are championed.
President emphasizing the use of irrigation to boost production and stabilize agriculture in the country, as well as enabling manufacturing of solar-powered water pumps to ensure the realization of both sustainable irrigation and agro-production. Museveni held a discussion with the delegation from Nexus Green led by the chairperson Baroness Sandeep Verma, who is also the former UK Parliamentary Under Secretary of State for International Development, on issues related to solar-powered irrigation, Lopei multipurpose dam, as well as collaboration with the Minister of Defense on solar power initiative.
So we have reconfigured our processes in line with the Attorney General's advice. You may recall that we had done preliminary feasibility studies for the site. Now we are embarking on detailed feasibility and detailed geotechnical investigations for the site, leading to detailed designs, costing, and the contracting process. Then in parallel, in September, we begin the approval process.
Nexus Green Limited is a Ugandan-based solar energy company supplying, manufacturing and delivering affordable solar-powered solutions designed for over 458 million people in East Africa. During the meeting, the president said that irrigation supported by solar-powered water pumps is very crucial since it would prolong the growing time of crops in Uganda. On their part, they revealed that they are already setting up a factory that will manufacture solar-powered water pumps locally.
What I've been doing is I've been lobbying TVS, which is a massive motorcycle company, and you instructed 2 of your staff from your office to come join me to go and do a due diligence in India, who are behind me today. And we showed the kind of knowledge transfer that could potentially come here.
We have 50 sites ready for commissioning, Excellency.
50 what?
50 sites.
Okay.
They are already undergoing technical commissioning, Your Excellency, from the ministry, and when you're ready.
Where you put solar-powered pumps?
Solar-powered pumps, yes.
Where?
In different parts of the country. We have some, the ones which are ready, we have some in Kalungu district.
In their continuous bid to support green energy and e-mobility, the delegation also informed President Museveni that under their Green Hub Kampala project, they are in plans to start making environmentally friendly electric motorcycles that are suitable for Uganda's terrain. Pedson Mumbere, Smart 24 TV, Business Today.
We now look at how Ethiopia has received wheat financing. Following the grant agreement signed on 2nd August between Ethiopia's Finance Minister Ahmed Shide and African Development Bank Group Deputy Director General East Africa, Abdul Kamara, for implementation of the country's climate resilient wheat value chain development project in Addis, Ethiopia has now secured $84.3 million for the cause, as the country will inject a further $10 million to support farmer incomes. Take a look.
Ethiopia has received $84.3 million in a grant from African Development Bank. The grant, which comprises of funds from Agribusiness Farm OCP Africa, Global Center on Adaptation and the Dutch government, is meant to implement the Climate Resilient Wheat Value Chain Development Project. The project premised on wheat productivity and production, enhancing market infrastructure linkages and finance plus coordination and management, intends to benefit 500,000 small-scale farmer households and support Ethiopia's wheat sufficiency and export goals. In his remarks, the African Development Bank Group Deputy Director General for East Africa, Abdul Kamara, praised the CRU project and its expected impact on Ethiopia's wheat flour and also the challenges posed by the Russia-Ukraine crisis, which could affect the global wheat supply and prices. The grant will provide resources and technologies including better seeds, fertilizers, irrigation, mechanization, and pest management.
Well, there you have it. That's pretty much it what we had for you tonight on Business Today. Before we officially sign out, here's a quick look at our headlines tonight. In Business Today, Fireguard's World Food Program maize truck near Katuna border. Damage estimated at about 20 million shillings as intervention delay is linked to limited fire services. And local government committee queries uniformed corruption in PG. 60 billion shillings lost to ghost teachers in 7 years while staff is underpaid. Government injects in 300 billion shillings in telecom. Equity split between finance and ICT ministry at 60% and 40% respectively. UTCL boosts of efficiency as voiced, fixed internet and Wijisente are promised. Many thanks for having joined us tonight. I'm Rona Nahabwe, together with Winnie Wiyinza Nakauchi for the sign language interpretation. I would like to implore you to watch on our YouTube channel in case you miss any of these reports at Smart 24 TV Live, and follow on our social media platforms to be up to date with the latest business news within the region. I'm Rona Nahabwe, together with Winnie Wiyinza Nakauchi for the sign language. Good evening.